Yo, what is up, everybody? It's your local guide, and my boots are on the ground in Krakow, Poland. This place is buzzing with energy, steeped in history, and I'm on a mission to uncover the hidden gems, the local secrets, the stuff they don't print in your average Lonely Planet. We're talking about the real deal Krakow experience, so grab your walking shoes, maybe a pierogi or two for the road, and let's get this adventure started right now. Alright, first up, we're in Kazimierz, the old Jewish quarter. This place has seen it all, from its medieval roots to its time as a thriving center of Jewish life, to, unfortunately, its darkest days during World War II. But even with its heavy history, Kazimierz today is a vibrant mix of old and new. We're talking cobblestone streets lined with synagogues, vintage shops, art galleries, and some of the coolest cafes you'll ever find. You can feel this creative energy buzzing around you. I mean, there's street art popping off the walls, people are out here just soaking it all in, and the smell of fresh bread from the local bakeries is enough to make you want to move in. We ducked into this little cafe, got ourselves a coffee, and just watched the world go by. And speaking of coffee, the coffee culture here is next level. These guys take their caffeine seriously. We're talking pour-overs, cold brews, lattes with intricate designs. They even had this coffee with cardamom and rose water, which I got to admit, I was skeptical about at first, but it blew my mind. Later on, we wandered through this amazing vintage clothing market, found some absolute gems in there. Seriously, if you're into vintage finds, this is the place to be. The whole vibe of Kazimierz is just so eclectic and inspiring. You can feel the history in the air, but you can also feel the pulse of a city that's moving forward, embracing its past while creating a future that's all its own. It's a beautiful thing to see. Alright, so we're hopping on a tram, leaving the city center behind us and heading to a place that feels like a different world entirely. Get ready for this! We're going to Zakrzówek Lake. Now, when you think of Krakow, a turquoise lake probably isn't the first thing that comes to mind, right? But trust me on this one. This place is a hidden gem, tucked away on the outskirts of the city. As we were making our way there, I gotta admit, I was a little skeptical. I mean, could a lake in the middle of a city really be that impressive? But as soon as we got there, my jaw dropped. Imagine this, crystal clear turquoise water surrounded by towering limestone cliffs. It's like something out of a movie. People were swimming, sunbathing, picnicking, kayaking. It was like a little slice of paradise. We even saw some daredevils cliff jumping into the water. We laid down a blanket, soaked up the sun, and just chilled for a bit. The energy here is so different from the city center. It's peaceful, serene, almost meditative. And the best part, it's super easy to get to. Just hop on a tram and you're there in like 20 minutes. Okay, after that little taste of nature, we're jumping back on the tram and heading south of Krakow to Tyniec Abbey. Now, this place is straight out of a history book. We're talking about a Benedictine abbey perched on a limestone cliff overlooking the Vistula River. It's been standing here since the 11th century, can you believe that? The history of this place is mind-blowing. And the setting? Don't even get me started. As we were walking up to the abbey, I could feel this sense of tranquility washing over me. Maybe it was the fresh air, maybe it was the sound of the river flowing below, or maybe it was the centuries of history seeping out of the stone walls. Whatever it was powerful. We spent hours just wandering through the abbey grounds, checking out the church, the gardens, and the breathtaking views of the river valley. It's amazing to think that monks have been praying and meditating in this very spot for almost 1,000 years. You can feel the weight of their devotion in every stone, in every corner. If you're looking for a break from the hustle and bustle of the city, Tyniec Abbey is the perfect escape. It's a place to reconnect with history, with nature, and with yourself. Alright, next up, we're diving headfirst into a completely different side of Krakow, Nowa Huta. Now this neighborhood is a trip. Built in the 1950s as a model socialist realist city, it's like stepping back in time. We're talking massive concrete buildings, wide boulevards, and a distinct lack of, well, anything that resembles the charm of Old Town. But that's what makes Nowa Huta so fascinating. It's a tangible reminder of Poland's communist past, a past that many people tried to erase. We spent the afternoon exploring the neighborhood, checking out the stark architecture, the propaganda posters that are still plastered on some buildings, and talking to locals about what life was like during the communist era. It was a side of Krakow that you don't often see, but it's an important one. It's a reminder of how far Poland has come and the resilience of the human spirit. This next stop isn't for the faint of heart. We're at Oskar Schindler's enamel factory, now a museum dedicated to telling the harrowing story of the Holocaust in Krakow. Walking through the factory, you're confronted with the stark reality of what happened here. The exhibits are powerful, personal, and at times incredibly difficult to process. You see the faces of the victims, hear their stories, and feel the weight of their suffering. But amidst the darkness, there's also hope. The story of Oskar Schindler, a German businessman who risked his own life to save over 1,000 Jewish people, is a testament to the power of human compassion, even in the face of unimaginable evil. This is not just a museum, it's a memorial, a reminder of the horrors of the past and a call to action to never forget. Alright, we need a little breather after that last stop. Let's take a walk through Planty Park, shall we? This green belt encircles the entire old town, and it's the perfect place to escape the city noise and just enjoy some peace and quiet. We're talking tree-lined pathways, colorful flower gardens, fountains, sculptures. It's like a scene out of a fairy tale. We saw people strolling hand in hand, families having picnics, students studying on benches, and even a few couples taking wedding photos. Planty Park is like the lungs of Krakow, a breath of fresh air in the middle of the city. Whether you're looking for a romantic stroll, a place to clear your head, or just a change of scenery, this is the spot. Alright, who's ready for some legends and lore? We're at the foot of Wawel Hill, home to Wawel Castle, and we're about to descend into the Wawel Dragon's Den. Now, according to legend, a fearsome dragon once terrorized the city from this very cave. It's said that the dragon was eventually defeated by a clever shoemaker who tricked it into eating a sheep filled with sulfur. Whether you believe the legend or not, the cave itself is pretty darn cool. It's dark, damp, and a little eerie. But hey, that's all part of the adventure, right? And who knows, maybe you'll even catch a glimpse of the dragon's ghost. Alright, art lovers, this one's for you. We're at Mokak, the Museum of Contemporary Art in Krakow, and this place is a trip. If you're into experimental, thought-provoking, and sometimes downright bizarre art, then you've come to the right place. We're talking installations, video art, sculptures, paintings, everything from the beautiful to the unsettling. I'm not gonna lie, some of it went right over my head, but that's the beauty of contemporary art, right? It challenges you to think differently, to question your assumptions, and to see the world through a new lens. Get ready to be amazed. We're standing in front of St. Mary's Basilica, one of the most impressive examples of Gothic architecture I've ever seen. This church has stood on this spot for over 800 years, and it's absolutely breathtaking. The exterior is a masterpiece of soaring towers, intricate carvings, and colorful brickwork, but it's the interior that will truly blow you away. Stepping inside is like stepping into another world. The stained glass windows bathe the interior in a kaleidoscope of colors. The vaulted ceilings seem to stretch up to heaven. And the famous wooden altarpiece by Weitstoss is a work of art that you have to see to believe. Every hour on the hour, a trumpet signal known as the Heinal Mariachi is played from the taller of the basilica's two towers. It's a tradition that dates back to the 13th century, and it's said to commemorate a trumpeter who was shot in the throat while sounding the alarm before a Mongol attack. Alright, for our final adventure, we're going underground. We're at Rynek Underground, a fascinating museum located beneath the main market square. Now you might be thinking, a museum under a market square? What's so special about that? Well, let me tell you, this is no ordinary museum. Using interactive exhibits, holographic displays, and even archaeological remains, Rynek Underground tells the story of Krakow's medieval past. We're talking about life in the 13th century, trade routes, ancient artifacts. It's like stepping back in time. We spent hours down there, exploring the different exhibits, learning about Krakow's rich history, and even trying our hand at some medieval crafts. It's amazing to think that all of this history was buried right beneath our feet the whole time. So there you have it, guys. Krakow like you've never seen it before. From the hidden alleys of Kazimierz to the turquoise waters of Zakrzówek Lake, this city has blown me away with its beauty, its history, and its vibrant culture. I hope this video has inspired you to add Krakow to your travel bucket list. And if you do make it out here, be sure to hit me up on social media and let me know what your favorite discoveries were. Thanks for coming along on this adventure with me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my future adventures. Peace out.